Exactly.
Anybody in here?
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Frank D. Moncure 2019 officers. Certainly we thank you for coming out on such a miserable day, but as they say, it's the weather outside is frightful, but it's over with it. So, for those who are not familiar with masonry very much, I would only ask that you listen to the duties that the master is going to be agreeing to, and that will give you some insight as to what masonry means to us. So I would ask, if you can, please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. And this is certainly where we kind of pass the torch from one leader to the next. And so I'm the guy with the biggest smile in the room today. At this time, I'd like to turn the ceremony over to our installing officer, worshipful brother, Dennis Ray Ford.
You can go ahead and get rid of that apron. All together. Pop it. Oh, pop it.
We love you, Rich.
If I can have the installing team take their positions.
How are you?
Brother Song Secretary, be pleased to call the names of the officers duly elected and appointed to serve this lodge for the ensuing year. As their names are called, let each take his position at the altar. Let the master-elect stand in front of his officers and immediately behind the altar.
Charles Robin Rhodes, worshipful master-elect. Darius Kazemjak, senior warden-elect. Richard Aaron Sullivan, junior warden-elect. Andrew Frank Wellington Uglo, treasurer-elect. David William Weaver, secretary-elect, pro tem, Richard Smith Gardner. Yorn Christopher Delaney, senior deacon-elect. Donald Edward Christensen, junior deacon-elect. David Warren Winkler, chaplain select. Charles Hahn Schaefer, senior steward, select, pro tem, Donald Fluchet. Timothy Scott Quinley, Junior Stewart Select, Pro Tem Christopher Tripp. James Stewart Brenner, Marshal Select. Joel Robert Gibson, Tyler Select.
Each officer is to be installed will place his right hand over his heart and repeat after me the obligation of the office which he bears. I promise upon my honor as a Master Mason
I promise upon my honor as a Master Mason
that I will, to the best of my ability,
that I will, to the best of my abilities,
conform to and abide by
conform to and abide by
the ancient landmarks, customs, usages of masonry,
the ancient landmarks, customs, and usages of masonry,
the laws, rules, edicts, and resolution of the Grand Lodge,
the laws, rules, edicts, and resolutions of the Grand Lodge,
ancient free and accepted Masons of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
ancient free and accepted Masons of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and the bylaws of this lodge,
and the bylaws of this lodge,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office
and I will faithfully perform the duties of the office
to which I have been elected or appointed
to which I have been elected or appointed
for the ensuing Masonic year,
for the ensuing Masonic year,
and until my successor shall have been chosen and installed,
until my successor has been chosen and installed.
so help me God,
So help me God,
to keep this my solemn obligation.
keep this my solemn obligation.
Brothers, be seated. Masonry teaches us that we should never begin any great and important undertaking without invoking the blessing of deity. Would you please rise?
Supreme Architect of the universe, grant that those who are now about to be invested with the government of this lodge may be endured with wisdom to instruct their brethren in all their duties. May brotherly love, relief, and truth always prevail among the members of this lodge. And may this bond of union continue to strengthen the lodges throughout the world. Bless all our brethren, who, wherever so dispersed, and grant speedy relief to all who are either oppressed or distressed. We affectionately commend to thee all the members of thy whole family. May they increase in grace and knowledge of thee and in the love of each other. Finally, may we finish all our works here below with thy abortion, and then have our transition from this earthly abode to the heavenly temple above, there to enjoy light, glory, and bliss, ineffectible and eternal. Amen.
Amen.
Brother Installing Marshal, you will present the Master-elect in the east. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to seat you. Please be seated. You all don't have to stand for all of this.
Brother Installing Officer, I present Charles Robin Rhodes for installation at Fort Fort.
Brother Rhodes, previous to your investiture, it is necessary that you should signify your assent to those ancient charges and regulations which point out the duty of the Master of the Lodge. You promise to be a good man and true, and strictly to obey the moral law. You agree to be a peaceful citizen and cheerfully conform to the laws of the country in which you reside. You promise not to be concerned in conspiracies or plots against the government, but patiently to submit to the decision of the Supreme Legislature. You agree to pay proper respect to the civil magistrates, to walk uprightly, work diligently, live credibly, and act honorably by all men. You agree to hold in veneration the original rules and patrons of the Order of Masonry and their regular successors, supreme and subordinate, according to their stations, and to submit to the awards of the brethren when convened. In every case consistent with constitutions of the order, you agree to avoid private picks and quarrels, and to guard against intemperance and excess. You agree to be cautious in the carriage and behavior, courteous to your brethren, and faithful to your lodge. You agree to respect genuine brethren, and to discountenance impostors and all dissenters from the original plan of Masonry. You agree to promote the general good of society, to cultivate the social virtues, and to propagate the knowledge of the art. You promise to pay homage to the Grand Master and to his officers when duly installed, and strictly to conform to every edict of the Grand Lodge or General Assembly of Masons that is not subversive of the principles and groundwork of Masonry. You admit that it is not in the power of any man or body of men to make innovations in the body of Masonry. You promise a regular attendance on the committees and communications of the Grand Lodge on receiving proper notice, and pay attention to all duties of Masonry on convenient occasions. You admit that no new lodge shall be formed without the permission of the Grand Lodge, and that no countenance be given to an irregular lodge, or to any person clandestinely initiated